accident. Lisa, tell us what happened.
Well, Ellen, it happened just before 8:30 this morning here on Highway 69, just south of Dripping Springs Road. Crews were working to set up a construction zone. Orville Walker, a Dennison man, was parked correctly on the side of the road. He was there working to put, and TxDOT says you'll want to be careful by slowing down in these areas. Reporting live in Dennison, Lisa Monahan, First News.
Thank you, Lisa. Construction crews will be working to repair the shoulder in this portion of the highway for the rest of the week. A cold case down in Marietta won't remain cold after all, even without a key witness. We told you last night that the state was looking for this woman, Tina Marie Mosley. She's a witness in the James and Lena West murder case from back in 1994, but she hasn't shown up for court and can't be found. Last month, the judge told prosecutors if she didn't show up again today, he may dismiss the case. Today, as 27-year-old suspect Maurice Miller made his way into court for a preliminary hearing, Mosley was again a no-show. The judge did dismiss this case, but the district attorney's office isn't giving up. Just minutes later, they refiled the charges against Miller. This time, they say they'll use key evidence to get the conviction instead of relying on witness testimony.
We do have a warrant for her arrest out that she'll be found as a material witness and retained in custody until the hearing. But if not, we feel that the evidence that we can put forth is sufficient to sustain our burden, and so we're going to try that on the 19th.
Maurice Miller will now return to court for a new preliminary hearing on December 19th. That hearing expected to take 2 days. Grayson County Sheriff's deputies serving a warrant for theft by check ended up busting a meth lab. They went to serve the warrant around midnight in the 900 block of East Main Street in Dennison, when they found 2 people inside with meth-making materials and 2 ounces of finished product. Jody Holder and Sherry Wellborn, both 43 years old, were arrested for manufacturing and possession of drugs. Holder was being served the theft by check warrant. Sherry Wellborn was on parole. Both are now in the Grayson County Jail. One man's in jail, another recovering from surgery after a shooting at an Ardmore apartment complex yesterday evening. It happened around 5 at the Willowbrook Apartments. Police arrested 27-year-old Franco Demand Williams. They caught up with him in the 1200 block of North Bigsby after they found a man in his 20s lying in the doorway of an apartment with a gunshot wound to his chest. Authorities believe that man called 911 himself. He's now recovering from surgery. Williams is charged with assault and battery and possession of a firearm after a felony conviction. An Atoka judge says a pit bull terrier that attacked an 11-year-old boy earlier this month must stay in the pound until he decides what to do with it. You'll remember Nick McMaster. He endured 2 surgeries after a friend's pit bull bit his leg. Now a court order requires the dog to stay in city custody until after a hearing, when a municipal judge will decide whether the dog is vicious. That hearing date is pending. An Atoka city ordinance bans vicious dogs. The judge can order the dog to be removed from the city limits, or he can order it to be euthanized. An abortion rights case has made its way to the Supreme Court for the first time in 5 years. Those for and those against abortion rights are paying close attention to today's case before the U.S. Supreme Court and its new chief, Justice John Roberts. At issue, a 2003 New Hampshire law requiring teenage girls to notify at least one parent before having an abortion. The only exception is when the mother's life is at risk. Abortion rights advocates say it doesn't go far enough because it fails to include a medical emergency exception. But abortion rights opponents argue it could mean almost anything.
It completely silences the law, because if I can say my back is hurting today and so I need to have that abortion, that's a health reason.
The case does not address whether abortion should be legal or not. Instead, it deals only with restrictions on abortion rights. A major speech this morning by President Bush on his plan for victory in Iraq. But those looking for a timeline on bringing troops home will be disappointed. Aleen Sirgany reports from the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis.
From the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis to the front lines in Iraq, President Bush armed himself with a plan for victory and delivered this promise.
We will never back down, we will never give in, and we will never accept anything less than complete victory.
Mr. Bush is trying to silence his critics who argue there is no clear strategy for the war in Iraq.
America will not run in the face of car bombers and assassins so long as I am your commander-in-chief.
Mr. Bush focused on the training of Iraqi forces, which military officials are now requesting almost $4 billion more to do. The president again pointed out that once Iraqis can handle security in their own country, American troops will start heading home. But he gave no timeline and made no promises.
We will stay as long as necessary to complete the mission.
Two top Democrats spoke with reporters just after the president's remarks. Senators Jack Reed and John Kerry say the president's plan isn't good enough.
The best way to protect the troops, the best way to stand up for the troops, is to provide the best policy for success in Iraq.
A document released by the White House just hours before the president's speech maintains, quote, no war has ever been won on a timetable. The president's speech here in Annapolis today is the first in a series of speeches in which Mr. Bush will try to shore up support before the December 15th elections in Iraq. Aleen, Sirgany, CBS News, Annapolis.
Still to come on First News at noon, having trouble finding the perfect gift for your teen this Christmas? Look no further. Hot new gadgets that got the thumbs up from tweens and an A+ for safety next. And Tom, still no sight of rain.
It doesn't look like we'll have a chance of rain for the next several days. The problem is the wind, dry humidity, and dry vegetation. Red flag warnings again issued for today. Will it continue for tomorrow? We'll have a look at our forecast in just a few minutes.
You're doing much better, and the treatment has gone beautifully. Is there anything else you need?
Yes, I need to be home with my family for the holidays.
Well, that can be arranged with proper help at home.
The help, is it our decision?
Absolutely. And an excellent choice.
Home health care is your decision. Always Better Care will work with your doctor and have your loved one home with family this holiday season, where they belong. Call 903-893-1036 today. We do the rest. Always Better Care, dedicated to caring.
Hi, Brody Pettit here with Pettit Machinery, and if you use commercial worksite products, you now have a local John Deere dealer to source all your needs. So stop driving to Oklahoma City or Dallas and come see the John Deere 332 track loader, the 35C excavator, or the John Deere 110 backhoe. With skid steer starting at $3.99 a month, as well as 24-hour mobile service trucks when you need us fast, you don't have to drive any further than one of our 5 locations: Ardmore, Gainesville, Durant, Hugo, and Sherman.
Do you know someone who is struggling with reading or falling behind in their grades? Most see pages clearly, but many people see something entirely different, suffering from a common disorder that changes the way the brain processes information and causes distortions and discomfort when reading. Since 1986, TLC has helped thousands dramatically improve their learning skills.
I'm one of thousands that owe their learning success to TLC. They changed my life, and I believe they can change yours too.
Focusing on solutions, the Learning Connection in Ardmore.
Sergeant Miley Bodov, stationed at Osan Air Base, Republic of Korea. I'd like to say happy holidays to my sister and her family in McKinney, Texas. Happy holidays.
I'm Andrew Shin in Bagram, Afghanistan. I want to tell my family back in Frisco, Texas. Merry Christmas.
Hi, I'm Captain Brian Weber. I'd like to say Merry Christmas from Jalalabad, Afghanistan. Say hi to my wife Susan, my daughter Katie, and the whole gang back at Live Oak Professional Center of Commerce, Texas.
Have a look at some of the hot new toys for this holiday season that got rave reviews from tweens and teens and high scores for safety from the Good Housekeeping Institute. Looking for some cool gifts for kids who are just a little too old for standard toys? If there's a budding filmmaker in your family, you'll be surprised to see how easy it is for him to use this kid-friendly video camera. Priced at several $100s less than mom or dad might spend on their own video gear, the Hasbro VCam Now is a great starter camcorder.
It was really cool. It's like so small, so you can carry it around and take little movies.
We did durability testing on this camera. What we did was we dropped it 4 times from a height of 3 feet. We sprayed it with water, and then we pulled on any part of it that a child could get their hands around and pull on it to make sure that it wouldn't come apart and be a choking hazard.
And there's a whole new curve on puzzles. Each piece is slightly rounded and interlocks in such a way it forms a sphere when the puzzle is done. For kids 12 and above, the challenge is not overwhelming, and the results make for a great display. This Sony Jam Tracks is a cool idea for kids who like to make music.
This is a software package that you load onto your computer, and then you let your kids make their own music. It comes with preloaded soundtracks that the kids can modify by making them faster or slower. Then they can even add and their own sound effects. So once it's loaded on the computer, even young kids can play with it.
Child gets impatient trying to finish the 3D puzzle. Each piece has a number on its back to help find the interlocking pieces. Good news for Oklahomans, and just in time for Christmas shopping. Your tax rebate checks are on the way. They're only about $45 each, $90 if you file jointly, but every Oklahoma resident who paid income taxes last year will get a rebate. Those are the stories topping our news this noon. Less wind and more rain is what we need. Tom, what will we get?
Neither, as we're going to see plenty in the way of wind. Really no rain the next several days. Temperatures are going to fluctuate, as we will see some cold temperatures as well, some very warm temperatures. I'll explain it all when we come back. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Landgraf Farms, where during the holidays we go a little nuts. In our 17th year, Landgraf Farms brings to the area this season's freshest pecans and pecan goodies from our farm to you. Pick a pound or two from our selection, have them custom cracked and blown, or buy a bag of pecan halves. Our wide selection of made-in-Oklahoma candies, coated nuts, specialty mixes, and other goodies make great Christmas gifts for family, friends, and employees. We ship worldwide and open 6 days a week. Landgraf Farms, Oklahoma Select Pecans on Highway 70 between Ardmore and Medill.
Merry Rewards from Mountain View Mall in Ardmore is the grand opening of the holiday season. Right now through Saturday, December 10th, visit any mall merchant and get a free ticket. Then receive additional chances to win with each $10 purchase. You could win a 2003 Suzuki Aereo, a 51-inch Magnavox high-definition TV, $2,800 in jewelry, a $3,000 mall gift certificate, and more. Join A Jewelers, Grady Auto Sales, Stage, and all your mall merchants for Merry Rewards, only from Mountain View Mall, Ardmore.
Matt Johnson, owner of Holiday Chevrolet in Whitesboro, Texas, and I promise to give you the lowest price on any car or truck in our inventory and more for your trade-in than anywhere else.
I'm Howie Best, parts manager here at Holiday Chevrolet, and my promise to you is to provide you the genuine GM parts and accessories to customize your car or truck at the lowest prices.
Holiday Chevrolet, we treat you like family.
High pressure that brought us the clear sky off to the east, and as it does, well, some high clouds are starting to spill in, and the wind is starting to increase, and it's a cold breeze at that, as we are expecting those south winds to pick up in speeds, and that'll cause problems with a high fire danger. We'll get to that in a moment. But 54 degrees right now in Sherman and Dennison. Relative humidity very dry, only 30%. We do have a falling barometer at 30.05 inches of mercury, and the winds already gusting out of the southeast up to 25 miles per hour in the range of 15 to 25. While in Ardmore, again, mostly sunny skies, we have 53 degrees, relative humidity only 31%, the barometer falling at 30.02 inches of mercury, and southeast winds 15 miles per hour, again gusting up to 25. In Paris, mostly sunny, we have 53 degrees, the relative humidity only 30%, falling barometer at 30.10 inches of mercury, southeast winds of 15 gusting up to 25 miles per hour. So again, you still need that jacket as you head out. Red flag warnings have been issued for southern Oklahoma and north Texas, as again we have dry humidities, and we expect those winds to be gusting up to 30 to 35 by later this afternoon. So again, all of the area under a burn ban, and again, do not burn anything outside. We cannot stress that any more than what we have over the past few days. Dry humidity, dry vegetation, gusty winds, it's just ingredients for trouble for our local fire department, so please be careful. 19 for a low tonight. The winds, we thought they were going to come a little more out of the southeast at about 5 to 10, but they were calm overnight, and that allowed for the very cold temperatures. 16 in Colgate and McAllister, 18 degrees. Hugo at 23, Antlers 16, Ardmore 23 degrees. Marietta dropped down to 18. We had 28 degrees in Gainesville, Sherman and Dennison, McKinney at 23, Denton also 23, Bonham at 25 degrees, and Paris had a low of 25, so rather cold this morning, but again, it was a very dry air mass. All the moisture has been locked up across the northern tier states. We got two storm systems, one right now that's moving into the Great Basin. You can see the scattered snow flurries across the central Rockies up into the northern Rockies, and the exiting storm system that brought us all the winds Sunday and Monday is now pushing itself into portions of Canada, and you can see the shower activity moving offshore, but look at the snow flying across portions of the Dakotas on into portions of Nebraska. Now, we won't see any precipitation from the system. We will see the cold front, which is now in southeastern Colorado, cut through the area later on tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, we'll warm up nicely this afternoon, even though we'll have a cool breeze, and then we'll cool down for tomorrow. All the rain, really the snow, is going to stay well north of our area as it moves off towards the Great Lake. Look at that, Minneapolis, 19 degrees. Chicago, only 24. Cleveland, 31. New York City, front moving through. They're still at 63. Miami at 77. Phoenix at 60 degrees. And again, we're watching not much in the way of clouds, some high cirrus clouds moving over the area. Most, again, the moisture in the clouds will stay north in Kansas into Nebraska. As that front cuts through our area, it's going to be a dry frontal passage. As, again, you can see on the visible satellite, not much out there, as all the moisture is, again, bottled up well south in the Gulf of Mexico. As time progresses, by later on tonight and into tomorrow morning, that front will move through. Another lobe of high pressure moves out of Canada, so that will trim those temperatures down about 10 degrees, about really less than what we'll see today. And then we expect a warm-up Friday into Saturday before yet another system moves in Sunday. Unfortunately, this one as well expected to be dry. 38 in Denver. We have 54 in Oklahoma City. It's 56 in Dallas-Fort Worth. Again, if you're headed out, you're going to need a light jacket at least the next couple of hours. 64 sounds like it's warm, but those winds are very cool circulating out of the south to southeast, and they'll be gusty at 30 to 35, so the red flag warning in effect. Partly cloudy, if not fair skies tonight, a low around 36 degrees with north winds by the morning. 54 is all we'll do tomorrow. A very cool day, especially with those northeast winds. Friday, we're looking at 62 degrees as the south winds return. And Saturday, not a bad day, partly cloudy, 65 after a low of 45. But Sunday, look what happens to our temperatures. The next front moves in. Highs will struggle to reach 50 degrees. Overnight lows will again tumble into the 30s, Ellen.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Coming up, Christmas wouldn't be complete without this classic holiday tale coming to the Findlay Playhouse. Next.
Every Subway sandwich is made fresh right in front of you, so you choose all the ingredients. The meat, the veggies, the fresh baked bread. No wonder so many people are coming over to the great taste of Subway subs, because when you really think about it, they don't make the sandwiches, you do. Subway, eat fresh.
Now you have enough for a great meal.
Wait, still the same amount I had before.
That's right. You don't need much to get an amazing meal at Subway restaurants. Come in now and get today's daily special for only $2.49. Subway, eat fresh.
Share life. Be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. CBS Tonight.
This was a human being.
A new Criminal Minds. Then, Deadly Derby.
Everybody knew she was going to be a breakout star. There's a reason not to love her.
I'll need all your clothes.
There you go.
A new CSI New York, CBS Tonight.
Along with the carols you sing, Christmas wouldn't be complete without the carol you watch, the one featuring Scrooge and Tiny Tim. A Christmas Carol opens at the Findlay this weekend. Director Ron Cassidy joins us to tell us more. Thank you so much for being with us.
Glad to be here.
It's a classic. It's, it's not really one of those shows that you can recreate, although some have tried and failed.
Right.
With this show, it's always best to kind of
do it the way
with
it's supposed to be done.
The old-fashioned way.
Right.
So as a director, what does that mean for you?
Well, you've got to find the right people to play the right roles, and it's always good to find the right Scrooge because the whole thing centers around him. Once you've got that, I mean, you can make anything work. You can do it in a big grand scale if you've got a huge theater, or you can do it in a more intimate scale, which we have. And that's been a challenge, but fun. We've built a revolving stage for the first time on the Findlay stage, so that eases the scene transitions, and we've opened up the old trap door for one of the spirits to come out of. Our trap door really goes down into the ground underneath, and they have to crawl over and crawl out. But it's a nice effect. You gotta do all the effects because people expect that.
Okay, well, let's talk about Scrooge. First of all, who's playing the role?
His name is David Bliley, and he's an actor that's worked with me before and been away, and he's come back just in the nick of time. Very accomplished, and just a great old wonderful Scrooge. He's having fun with him.
All right. Let's talk about those spirits. I know a couple years ago I took my son to a showing. He was 5 at the time, and the spirits can be a little scary for the young ones.
They can be if you present it that way. Now, the scariest one is, of course, the one of Christmas to come, and you never even see him. He's just this phantom-looking thing. But we've tried to make the others more magical. The spirit of Christmas past is a female, sometimes done, and she's like a bright light and has lights in her hair, and then the Christmas present is a jolly sort, and so we've had fun with the costuming and not trying to keep them scary, just showing Scrooge the past, the present, and then what's to become if he doesn't change his ways.
Yes, and Marley can always be a little scary with all the chains.
And he's got old boxes on him and just rattles like crazy. It's been fun working the sound effects on that.
But this will be a good one to bring the whole family to.
The whole family.
Even the younger kids
right.
will do okay.
It's a short production. It's not real long. It lasts about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And it's got lots of kids in it. It's a 33-member cast for us. That's a big group.
Well, let's talk about kids, because even though, you know, you can't have a good Christmas Carol without a good Scrooge, it always happens. Tiny Tim will steal the stage because it's always played by the cutest little boy in the world.
A little boy that falls down, and you know, you gotta love him, and he's so sweet and kind, and you know, just the perfect antithesis to like Scrooge. And then of course the Cratchits, they have a big family along with Tiny Tim. They've got 5 other kids, so you got kids all over the place, and that's always fun for kids to come to the theater and see kids on the stage.
All right, so who plays Tiny Tim?
Oh, he's a young actor named Kane Williams. Quite got the accent down perfectly. You know, it's English, and we've had fun with that.
How old is he?
He's kind of old. Let's see, he's probably like 11 or 12.
Okay, so
he's not the baby Tiny Tim.
Right.
You can't really go too young because sometimes they're not able to do the part.
Right, and then of course there are always the late nights on the stage. When does the show open?
It opens this Friday and plays through the 18th. So come and see it.
All right. Well, Ron, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it. It's wonderful to have you here on my last day.
I'm glad to be here. Gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too. The Christmas Carol opens on December 2nd. As Ron said, it runs through the 18th. Tickets range from $6 to $12. If you would like to get your tickets, you can call the box office. I believe it opened just a few minutes ago, didn't it? And that number is 903-892-8818. We'll be right back to wrap up.
The fall harvest has arrived at Crabtree's Pecans in Dennison. Crabtree's has the biggest variety of pecans in the area. They have custom cracking and shelling with quick turnarounds. Come by and pick out a special gift for everyone on your Christmas list and bring your own pecans. Crabtree's has a new state-of-the-art pecan cracker sheller that is able to crack 450 pecans a minute, or just do it the easy way and buy them already cracked and shelled. Crabtree's Pecans, located at 1510 South Armstrong in Dennison.
Do these cracks look familiar? Do you have doors or windows that bind or stick? Your home may be experiencing serious foundation movement. Call the professionals at PowerLift Foundation Repair for a free structural evaluation. PowerLift's patented steel pier system is the best in the business, guaranteeing rock-solid results. If your home needs foundation repair, call PowerLift.
Our reputation is rock solid. Putting your home on a firm foundation. PowerLift.
Ho, 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 it's holiday season again at Jimmy's Western Wear, and Jimmy Claus and the Rain Dogs are bringing you great bargains for the holiday season. Like Wrangler George Strait shirts and jeans. A great gift would be Wrangler denim and khaki work shirts and Wrangler 20X jeans. We have Wrangler cowboy cut jeans for men in regular and slim fit, and also Wranglers for the little kids. So come and see what the Rain Dogs, Clarence and Lucky, have left under the tree at Jimmy's Western Wear in the Tiffany Plaza in Ardmore.
If the shoe fits.
My foot is definitely larger than yours.
It is not.
Yes, it is. Let me try on your shoe. You try on mine.
I would like to point out that he is wearing that shoe with a thick sock, which is something I can't do.
I don't want to have big, clumsy feet. A guy like me relies on swiftness, you know?
And next live, the West Wing's Alan Alda makes a campaign stop, plus click 5 for 4.
I'm excited.
Next live.
Thursday morning at 9 on Channel 12.
Welcome back to First News at Noon. If you haven't noticed yet, this is a special version of the show. We're saying goodbye to our friend and co-worker, Ellen Sawko.
This is kind of scary because I'm embarking on a whole new career, basically, learning a whole new industry.
She arrived in Texoma 11 years ago, filling some big shoes at the time, noon show veteran Nancy Wilson. But it would be Ellen taking the role to new heights, eventually becoming news director, and nearly 8 years ago, adding full-time mom to her titles.
I had the wonderful opportunity to do what I love in a place that allowed me to share what I love, share the time that it takes to do what I love with the time I wanted to have with them. So nothing else is better.
And fittingly, it's children that will lead her into the next phase of her career.
I want to write children's books. It's something I've always wanted to do. Don't anticipate I'll be the next J.K. Rowling, not really my age group. I'm writing more for the younger 3 to 8 year olds.
I'm in here, I don't see the junk.
In 11 years at KXII, Ellen says the memories of stories and people are too many to count, just like the many connections she's made with viewers.
I think all of the viewers know I am a total sap. And so when I meet somebody who I'm really touched by, it's always been evident. Because see, this is what happens. You know, the eyes start tearing up a little. The voice gets a little shakier. But you know, just seeing what it is that Texoma has to offer, and meeting the great people who make up Texoma, those are the memories that I will keep. Well, here's a clue.
So more than a decade later, what was her favorite part?
The 30 minutes of the day that I'm in this seat. That's it. I love being here. I love bringing people the news. I love getting to sit down and talk with people from the community and getting to know them and knowing their stories.
And now's your chance to say goodbye as well. Send an email to firstnews@kxii.com. We'll make sure Ellen gets your note. Now for a final farewell. Ellen, back to you.
Thank you, Matt. I didn't know they were going to do that. That was very sweet. Well, it is time for me to embark on a new adventure. Okay, Tom's going to jump in if I'm crying. But also to say goodbye to this career that I've loved. My 11 years they haven't been a job. They've been just the most incredible opportunity to meet many wonderful people. And of course, Nancy Wilson, I had huge shoes to fill. Not that she has big feet, but so many of you made me feel welcome. Gosh, back then when I started, and of course since then, from the Bulls, who I met at the first Senior Expo, to Wade and Ramona Orsburn, they've become like family, and so many people in between. And then of course there were people that many of you, I've never even met you, but you've contacted me with your thoughts. Sharon is my email friend. Ann Blackburn sent me a Christmas card in 2003. I've carried in my calendar ever since to get me through tough days. I'll pull it out later. And then there were my guests, many of whom have become friends, and I hope you all know who you are because there are just too many to name. But I know the news industry has changed a bit these past 11 years. I don't know if I have, but I've tried to do what I thought you wanted. I hope I succeeded more times than I failed. Either way, I thank you for allowing me to be part of your lives.
We're all going to miss you here at Channel 12, and I know Robin and I have grown with you and over the years with your kids, and it's going to be hard.
Well, finally, I have worked along some great people here at KXII. Each of them has had a positive impact on my time here. Of course, this guy. But whether they're in sales, business, production, or of course news, weather, and sports, all of you have been great. So as our audience, you don't get to see them, but KXII wouldn't be what it was or what it is without all of them. So to all of you here at KXII, to the viewers, to the guests, to my coworkers, thank you for everything. It's been a fun ride.
We're going to miss you. Goodbye.
Criminal Minds, tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.